All right, good day. Today's total body fitness. We're going to work on internal and external rotation, not only at the hips, but in the shoulder joint as well. Of course, we will do more than just those type of exercises, but we'll have a lot of focus in those areas. Start seated in a chair, and we're going to heel toe the feet open and heel toe them closed. This should be a fairly relaxed exercise, not too much strength to do it. You're going to take both toes open, both heels open, both toes open, both heels open, and so on and so forth until you get to your max, and then you're going to slowly turn everything back in. All right, finishing out that, you're just going to bring one knee into your chest and then change other side. Do try to sit up tall versus like leaning back and slouching, like laying down. Sit up tall, work your abs. And then we're going to go back to the open position, and you're going to place your arms on the inside of your knees. You're going to push on the legs, and you're going to push yourself inward just ever so gently, because of course your legs are going to outdo your shoulders, but we're trying to also work the shoulders as well. And then we're going to reverse this. You're going to put the hands on the outside, and you're going to push out and resist that. So it's a quick little push and push, push and push. Working the shoulder here more than the leg. Unless your legs are really weak and your arms are really strong, but most people have the opposite. And then from here, we're going to bring the knees in as far as you can go. You can allow your feet to roll in a little if you need. And then you're going to push your legs open as far as you can go, rolling out to the side of your foot. If you are rolling like I am rolling on your feet, I want you to try to now do it with your feet flat, as long as it doesn't create any discomfort in your ankles or your knees. And then let's stand up and let's just shake out all that work that we just did. And then from here, we're going to do some high knees, so just marching up. If you need to hold on to something for balance, you can, because I would like you to do it slow versus just like a fast march. All righty, we're going to come down onto the floor. And we're going to lie on the back. You're going to need either a block or a small ball to put between your knees. And you're going to squeeze the ball and release. Squeeze the ball and release. You're trying to use your inner thighs to do the work. And we're also going to try to leave the stomach relaxed for now. And we're also going to try to leave the butt relaxed. So just working right here on the inner thigh and squeeze. Squeeze, release. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now go ahead and remove the ball. Bring your feet together and allow your knees to open in as much external rotation as you can do. Without force, without pushing, just letting gravity pull you down. And then we'll come back up. We're going to bring now the knees up, place the ball between the knees, and your feet are now up in this dead bug position. You want your knees not to be too close to your chest. You're going to try to stack them right over your hips, so now your abs do have to work. We're going to squeeze and release 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Release the ball. We're going to go wide with the feet and allow the knees to roll from side to side, doing a windshield wiper. And then bring your feet back together, hold the ball, and you're going to squeeze the ball with your arms. You're just going to press and release, press and release. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, you're going to put your ball down. Now we're going to work the abdominals. So I'm going to have you kind of do an extreme with the lower back. That means I want you to push your lower back as hard and flat into the mat as you can go. And then you're going to relax. And then you're going to try to do a back bend. You're going to try to get as much gap underneath your lower back as you can go. So you're doing a lower body cat and cow, but you're using the mat as a stopping resistance, and you're contracting and relaxing, and contract and relaxing. But your relaxed stomach is not relaxed completely. I'm actually tightening up my back muscles in the arched position, and then I relax those muscles and contract my front. And then from here, I want you to go somewhere in the middle where you just feel relaxed. You're not pushing your back down and you're not arching. It's somewhere right neutral. And you're going to pull the belly button in towards the spine without changing that spine position or your hip position. So once again, if you went big time arch, big time press, find just a relaxed neutral in the middle, and then see if you can pull inward with your stomach and not change anything in your spine or hips. And then from there, you're going to just try to do a little march, picking up 1 foot at a time, trying to still keep that same tension and same pressure in the back and in your front and everywhere. If it's too easy, you can try to lift both feet, but be careful, don't lift them up so high that you're pushing the lower back into the floor once again. We're still trying to work on just keeping the abdominals pulling in and keeping the spine steady and the hips steady. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Draw both knees into the chest and do a frog circle. So you're going to hold onto your kneecaps. You're going to pull them in. You're going to open the legs wide. Knees and feet go open. And then you're going to straighten the arms, letting the knees go away from your body, and then draw the knees together. So you're pulling in, opening, circling to close. Pulling in and open and circle to close. In, open, circle to close, in, open, circle. One more, in, open, circle to close. We're going to go back to the windshield wiper so your feet go wide, and you're going to roll the knees from side to side. Now as you roll, let's say you roll the knees to the right, you're going to feel your left hip come up a little bit, and that's okay. And then you're going to rotate to the left and you'll feel your right hip come up a little bit. I'm not trying to push anything down towards the ground. I'm just letting gravity take me to the side. Now you want your feet wide, because what we're really working towards is the internal rotation of the leg that the knee is going towards the foot of the mat. So if your knees are going to your right, you're really working on that left side, left knee coming into an internal rotation. And then you're going to slowly switch, and we're working towards the internal rotation on the other side. Of course, you are getting external rotation on the opposite leg, but this particular stretch is going to be more dominant on that internal rotation. If your legs are wide, if your legs are or your feet are close together, it's not going to have the same effect. It's going to feel more like a spinal twist. And then bring your knees all the way back into your chest and bring your head up towards your knees. We're going to bring those knees back up to a dead bug position. You're going to place your hands onto your knees, and we're going to push the knees against the hands and the hands against the knees. And we're going to hold that isometric for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, glute bridge, feet come down, hips come up, squeeze your bum. And lower down. We're going to come up onto one side. And here you're going to either need your ball or one of your blocks. We're going to lay down all the way. I'm going to do the ball again. I'm going to place it between the knees. And your feet are going to touch, and then the top foot is going to open. So you're going to touch and open, and you're working on this is an internal rotation of your top leg as you're trying to bring the foot up towards the ceiling. You're going to probably feel something work right here on the side of your hip. It's part of your glute medius minimus area. Okay, so let's work on this. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now we're going to hold the foot up, and you're going to squeeze the knees together. Okay, so now you're working that in an internal rotation. Holding here, it's going to feel the burn. Yes, 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 yes. And then relax. Whew. All right, let's go ahead and switch to the other side. All righty, all the way down you go. Something between your knees. You tap the foot, and then you bring the foot up towards the ceiling, trying to keep the knees steady. And we go down and up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and hold it up on 10, and then you're just trying to squeeze the object between your knees. And relax. Whew. All right, so next you're going to need your resistance band. All right, so you're going to lie back down onto your back, and you're going to place something between your knees, either the ball or your block, and you're going to try to push your feet open, okay? So I think this is probably a medium or a heavy band. It is definitely not light, but it's not the heaviest. I'm going to try the ankles because I felt like that was a lot. So let me go up a little bit. So the higher up you go to your knees, the easier it is going to be. Yeah, that feels a lot easier to do at my ankle. And even if I went up a little bit higher, it would be almost, that's too easy. Like I don't feel like that's enough for me. So you got to kind of play with whatever band tension you have and decide where you need it on your foot. So if you only have like a light band, you might want it around your feet. Medium might be around your ankles and heavy might be higher up. So you're going to still try to work your abs. So you want your knees not too close into your chest, push them away and feel your abdominals be firm. Okay, we don't want to push the lower back into the mat like that. And we don't want it arching up with a big gap either. So you're going to find that sweet spot in the middle and we're going to push open the feet, doing that internal rotation again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Take a rest. You're going to bring your band now higher up around your knees, or maybe this is where you're going to need a heavier band. We're going to do glute bridge and push the legs open. So feet are going to go down about hip width distance apart. Lift the hips up, open the knees, and then we'll retract back down. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. All right, let's go ahead and remove that band right on off. You're going to come to hands and knees, and you're going to start in a donkey kick. So you're going to lift the foot up towards the ceiling. Then from here, you're going to start to do an external rotation, meaning you're going to bring your knee and your foot in line. So your foot comes down, your knee continues to come up, and then you're going to bring it out to the side like a fire hydrant, and then lower down. And then you're going to do the other leg. So you're going to do donkey kick, then you're going to rotate the leg, bring it out to the side like a fire hydrant, and lower down. Let's keep alternating left and right or right and left. This is that same circle. We're not going to reverse the circle yet. Feel your booty? Nice. Let's do a quick down dog and pedal out the feet. Let's have a seat. We're going to do a quick glute stretch or piriformis stretch. You're going to cross your right ankle over your left knee, and then you're going to pull the knee in, and then you're going to let the knee fall. You are allowed to apply a little bit of a pressure, but don't over push and don't go fast. So pulling up and in and release. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Other side, crossing the ankle. You're going to let the knee come in and lower. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Seated, we're going to bring the arms up to a cactus, then we're going to bring them forward to straight out in front of the shoulder, and then we're going to go back open. So open, close, open, close. Having the arms now closed, we're going to bring the hands apart and the fingertips come in, trying to not let the elbow move very much. It's kind of a trick there to not do the elbow. So try to keep the elbow steady and just moving the hands open and closed. Then we're going to bring the arms back to cactus, and we're going to bring the palms forward towards the floor and then back up to your starting position. Most people can't go too much further back than this, and so we go forward and back. And then let's relax those arms, shake them out. Going to open up the legs, and we're going to bring one arm down. We're going to really reach down towards the ground, trying to touch. And then you're going to bring the arm up, reach it up towards the ceiling. We're just doing a little bit of a twist. We're also just trying to stretching out these inner thighs and also just getting a little bit of movement through the shoulder. So we're going to reach down and reach up. You've got the elbow on that opposite leg. Go down and reach up. We go down and reach up. Go down and reach up. One more. We're going to go down and reach up. We're going to stay up, and we're going to now circle this arm. So we're going to bring it down towards the floor and then forward and up. And then we're going to reverse the circle or go the opposite way, going over the ear, down towards the floor, and back up. All right, let's switch sides. So coming on over to the other side, you're going to reach down, stretch nice and slow, and reach up. We go down and up and down and up and down and up. And we're going to do the circle. So you're going to bring it down by your leg towards the floor, reaching forward and up and reverse. The other cool thing that's happening here is this arm, the one on your leg, has to work. All right, because you have body weight put into it, and you are actually rotating your body around that shoulder joint. Alrighty, coming back up. Go ahead and stand up. And we're going to twist that out. Let the arms plop. I want them to plop and turn and hit yourself in the bod. Taking out tensions. We're going to go back to the hips. So what you're going to need your chair back end for balance, and we're going to do a hip circle standing. You're going to bring the leg forward. You're going to bring it out to the side. Then you're going to do the internal rotation here. So that means you're trying to keep the knee up, but it's going to come down a little bit because I'm going to bring the foot up, and then I'm going to bring the knee in to touch. So I'm making a circle with my knee, going forward to the side. Then I'm going to start to draw down and in. All right, let's try the other leg. I'm going to go ahead and turn the other way just so that you can maybe have a different perspective as to what's happening. So you're going to bring your leg up, then out to the side. Then you're going to do like a little fire hydrant. I'm turning, bringing the foot up, turning the knee inward and down, and then trying to go with the knee first to my other knee. Forward to the side, Going to do an internal rotation, try to lead the knee to the other knee. The foot kind of drags behind. All right, let's shake that out. We can give a good shake to the leg. Okay, so we're going to need the chair again, and we're going to come down onto our backs, and we're going to place the feet on the side of the chair. And what I'm doing is I'm applying pressure with my feet, and I'm going to move my knees in, and then I'm going to move my knees out, all while trying to maintain pressure on my chair. If you don't have a chair or don't want to put your feet on a chair, you could try it with a couple of yoga blocks, but it won't be quite as wide, right? So if I did this yoga block style instead of chair style, I would have 2 blocks maybe between my feet. Kind of a trick there. And then you're going to bring your knees in and knees out, but you can't lose your block, right? You got to really squeeze those blocks together. But if you had a chair, your legs would be wider and you'd get more of an internal. See, the knees now are harder to come inward together for me. And so that's what we're looking for, is that, and then pushing out with the knees. This should be pretty intense if you're really pushing that chair together and moving in and out. See if you can keep your stomach relaxed. Just working here, just in the hip. Stomach will work some, of course, but try not to make it an ab exercise. Try to make it all right in there. Oh, it's so intense. And then when you're ready to take a break, you're going to come up to seated, and we're going to do the seated windshield wiper or 90-90 position. So you're going to open up your legs, and we're just going to move the knees to the right and to the left. Now, there are many ways to do this. The first way I like to have people do it is actually to lift the hip up. It makes it easier, more accessible. So what I mean by that is when I roll to the side, I'm actually going to roll and come off this hip, even maybe come off this hand, and then roll to the other side, and then even come up off this hip and off that hand. But you see then that's compensating for this leg's internal rotation by lifting up this hip. So do this first, right? Because this is going to kind of prime you for doing the same movement, but with no hip lift. So now I'm just trying to let the legs fall to one side. You may get quite a bit of pinch somewhere in your legs, other side, without letting the hip come up. Now come here, Ray, come over here, come. Now you can, if you were to look at mine, right, I'm gonna let my feet roll, but my hip's not coming. My left leg can definitely go down a lot further than my right leg. Like it's like, gets stuck. It's like, oh, no, you don't. No, you're not going any further than that. And so it's just something to be aware of. Should feel a good stretch possibly as well, even in your back, or not your back, the back of your butt. Because that, to me, is a really good piriformis stretch. Because now you're stretching it this way. And let's go ahead and then take this into a spinal twist. So you're going to go ahead and lift up your hip, lift up your arm, and you're going to rotate and try to go all the way around. See how far you can turn. You can turn all the way behind yourself. You can stay upright, or you can come down onto your elbow, one elbow or two. And then you'll come back up and you'll switch to the other side. You'll roll those knees on over, lifting the hip up, turn the arm around, and then walk yourself as far behind as you can go. Get a good twist and stretch. And then maybe release out of that a little bit so you can come down onto an elbow or two. And then coming back to center, we're going to bring those feet together and knees are going to open for that inner thigh stretch, open. Now, if you have a hard time with this position, that's okay, because not everybody's hips are as shallow as mine. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to continue to work these inner thighs by placing the elbows inside the knee. You're going to push the knees against the elbows and the elbows are going to resist. We did a little bit of this at the beginning, seated with the chair, but now we've got more leverage in this position. And then relax. And we'll go again. Push. And relax. One more time. Push. And relax. You're going to go back to the 90-90 position, or just think sweep one leg back behind you. And now we're going to work the front leg. What we're going to do is we're going to push down onto the knee, and you're going to try to push the knee up. And then lower down. And now you're going to try to lift the whole leg. Try to lift the whole leg up. And then lower back down. Again, push down onto the knee and then try to push the knee up. And then lower down. Now see if you can lift just the foot up. I can't do it. I have to lift the whole leg. So next what you're going to do is you're going to try to push the knee down to the floor. And relax. Pushing the knee down. You're going to lean forward a little bit. Push down into the floor. And relax. And push down into the floor. And relax. And one more, push down into the floor. And relax. Let's go ahead and stretch over this leg so you can come all the way down onto your elbows. And change. Let's switch to the other side. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull the knee up, but we're going to push down and release. Then we're going to lift the whole foot up and release. So you push down into the knee and then try to push the knee up and release. And then now the whole leg, or maybe just the foot. I can't do just the foot. And lower down. Now you're going to try to push the knee down using just the strength. I'm not using hands here. I'm pushing my knee down using strength. And release. Using my hip. Push down. And release. Push down. And release. And push down. And release. Now we're going to take the stretch forward. So you come forward onto your elbows. And release. Next, we're going to get a small weight for some internal and external shoulder rotation. We're going to start with no weight. You can sit like this. If you can sit like this, that's fine as well. What we need is a little shelf to put the elbow up on so you can bring the hand down and up. And I'm not doing a bicep curl, so I'm not going out and in. What I am doing is I'm turning the palm of my hand forward and I'm trying to rotate at the shoulder, bring my hand down like I'm trying to touch the leg down here, and then bringing it back up. If this doesn't cause any discomfort or pain, you can try it with a weight. Couple things to note: no matter how you're seated, don't slouch. Okay, try to sit up tall. You can sit however is most comfortable. I usually like this because I like to roll up onto a hip because it lifts up this leg a little higher for my longer torso. Okay, and you're going to bring your weight into play if you so choose. I usually start with 1, 2, or 3 pounds. And then you do a few of those, and if you decide that that feels way too easy or doesn't feel like anything for you because you're such beastie shoulders, you're going to switch to maybe a 4, 5, or 6 pound, but I probably wouldn't go more than that. You do it until you get enough of that little bit of fire burn or fatigue in the muscle, and then you're going to switch to the other side. Once again, start with none just so that you can get the good setup and just make sure that things are going to be okay, right? So as soon as you add a little bit of weight, it gets heavy really fast. It's amazing, especially if it's new to you. All right, let's just take a seat on how we've improved maybe our hip mobility. So take a stand, stand it up. So we're gonna sit back down into the chair and we're gonna just work with this seated figure 4. See if there's any difference here. Okay, we can also just go with a wide leg and see if you feel a difference here. The other thing we can do is go towards a deep squat. So we can work towards, bending the knees and see how low can you go? Can you get lower? You can hold on to something if you need. Okay, you can hold on to a door frame or holding on to something kind of heavy like a countertop. You can go down, see if that helps. Your knees can open up a little bit. And see if some of that mobility and strengthening in those really deep sockets made a difference in just how you can move around. Next, I'm going to finish off those hips though with probably the least favorite of most people. It's quite uncomfortable. So let's lie down onto the floor. And what we're going to do is this top leg, we're going to go for an internal rotation and then an external. So I'm turning my toe and my knee down towards the ground and then my toe and my knee up towards the ceiling. But I'm not trying to go down with my leg and up with my leg. That would also not be very fun. But we're just trying to rotate, 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 rotate. Now, right now my leg is pretty much straight down like if I was standing up, right? But now you're gonna tighten up your abs. You're gonna bring the leg slightly forward and you're gonna do the same thing. Down and up, trying to keep the leg from actually moving up and down. And it's not just my ankle. I'm trying to work all the way at the hip. How far can you go? And how far up can you go? How far down can you go? And up. And then you're going to do it again, a little further forward. Abs got to be on, your bottom leg is pushing, and you got to go way down, way up. It started off so easy. You're like, Stephanie, this isn't torturous at all. But it actually is the longer you do it. And then you're going to try again, a little further up, down and up. Oh yeah, now you're not, now you're feeling it. Now you're knowing. Now you got it. And if you can go up again. So now we're working on hamstring and IT band, TFL, right here, all in this leg. Oh my goodness graciousness. And then go ahead and rest. Oh, you can rest with that leg in front, like down like that to get a little stretch. You can do a spinal twist right quick while you're here. All right, let's try the other side. Final hip burn. Okay, leg is straight out to the side. The other one is bent, so you got support as you go. You're gonna lift that leg so it's at level with your hip, and you're gonna go down and up. Oh, rotate, rotate. Remember, it's not just the foot. It is also at this hip. You can put your hand there so you can feel it, and then move the leg forward. Rotate, rotate. Woo! Actually, my other hip is still on fire. And then bring it more forward. Abs got to be tighter now. You got to use this bottom leg a little bit more for leverage. Don't worry about getting so many reps in. Don't worry about going fast. You're just trying to get the max amount of rotation. Let's go a little further forward. And one more. Oh, and that's it for me. All right, guys. Oh, let's do a real quick butterfly. So feet together, knees are gonna open if you're able to do this. If not, you can just sit cross-legged and fold forward. And then come on up. We're gonna do a seated figure four. So you're gonna sit, you're gonna cross ankle over knee. You're gonna allow the knee to open the best you can. If you need more stretch, which you probably don't, but if you do, you can sit up taller, or you can bring this foot in closer. So you can bring it in or sit up more forward. And then change. Work the glutes a little bit differently today, hey? All right, well, that's it for today's, well, kind of total body. It was more glute and hip flexors and rotators focus today. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for coming. What is your deal? Your deal today? He's not been in videos forever, and now all of a sudden he had like obsession about licking my face. I mean, look at my hair. It's a mess from him. Higher up. What was that? What was that? Go see. Go, 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 go.